Cinderella.
I know it's Cinderella. You eat your breakfast?
Yeah. Cinderella, look at Daddy.
Okay.
I have to eat this a minute.
Yes, you do have to eat in just a minute.
Yeah. She's Allie. Hi, Allie.
We live in Prospect, Maine. We chose this town because it's halfway in between where I wanted to get my master's degree and where I had to work. I've got one neighbor right next door, and my next neighbor is about a half a mile up the road. And I own about 9 acres of land, and that's typical in this town. People own a lot of property. Be careful going down the stairs. Go, Mommy.
All right, you got the keys?
I got the keys.
All right. Gary and I met in college. We were both midshipmen at the University of Maine. We did everything together. I mean, we were really active in the unit. We did drill meets and color guard, and we had morning PT sessions, and we always did it together. And so we became really, really close friends, and I kind of had a crush on him, like, in the beginning.
It was a little weird at first, you know, because we were friends, but it was a good thing, too, because you have to be friends first before you can really have, you know, really good feelings for somebody. But my feelings obviously grew stronger, and, you know, we fell in love, and, well, here we are. We got married right after I graduated from college.
Friday, we did a rehearsal dinner. Saturday morning, we did graduation. Saturday night, we did commissioning. And Sunday, we got married. I mean, like, whirlwind weekend, if you ever heard of one. And then we went to Quebec for 2 days. That was like our honeymoon. And then he had to report to Nuke Power School.
So our first year and a half of marriage, we weren't living together. We were separated. Because I went to nuclear power school in South Carolina, then prototype, and then submarine school. But then, right after I was done all those schoolings, and I was able to go move in with her, I was there for about 10 days, and I had to leave for a deployment on a submarine.
I've never been a civilian family. I mean, I grew up Navy. My grandpa was Navy. My pop was Navy. So we've always done things the Navy way. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty resourceful. So I feel like the Navy taught me to be resourceful, because while he's gone, literally you're like a single parent.
Make Daddy's flower, Olivia's flower.
I'll make you another flower.
My first deployment actually didn't start out as OIF. It was only supposed to be a 5-month deployment, and then that's when OIF started. They extended my deployment out 7 months. And that's when we went over to the Middle East and did some operations out there on the submarine for that. And unfortunately, because of the extension, I wasn't home while my firstborn was born, my daughter Olivia, and she's 5 years old, and I missed her birth by a little over 2 weeks.
What are you doing? Go!
I think because Gary's job was so high energy, being on a submarine, and he was, I mean, just worked his tail off. And because of that, I think when he is home, he likes that downtime. He likes being able to relax. Our ideal weekend would be where, you know, we could get up on our own time, you know, don't have to get dressed or showered right away, have breakfast, just, you know, take it one step at a time. If we get to do it, we get to do it. If we don't, we don't. Come on. Put your coat on. Coat, 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 coat. There we go. Turn the lights off. Do you need a coat, Gary?
Hey, Daddy,
The Army is actually very short in personnel, but there's still jobs that need to be done, and the Navy's filling in for those spots. So they're sending people individually over to Iraq to fill in for these jobs.
I know, let's go. Come on.
They can either take volunteers to go, or they assign people to go. It was probably about 90% chance that I would be assigned. And when you get assigned to go, you have about a month's notice, and you don't have the choice as to what job you can do. So I said, well, if my chances are that high anyway, let's just volunteer for an IA.
we decided that this was the best choice for us, because by making this choice, we got that Excel document that said, you know, this is what you get to choose from, and you could choose the time frame that you wanted, you know, when you wanted to leave. And because of that is why we decided to volunteer versus being told, this is when you're going, you have X number of days to prepare. Yeah, we're looking at the air station sign, sweetie. Are you ready to do this?
Do I have a choice?
You know, when you're choosing between Iraq and Afghanistan, which both are really volatile areas, we actually wanted to choose Afghanistan because we had a friend that I actually served with when I was on the Eisenhower, and because he'd been in that theater and he knew, he could tell us his experience, we kind of felt more comfortable with Afghanistan, and we wanted to choose Afghanistan, but because of the time frame, we had to choose Iraq, because, you know, my friend was like, you don't want Iraq, don't go there. And we're just like, oh crap, there's nothing left. We have to take Iraq.
There's really nothing that I can do about it. There's nothing that I can do to prepare for it. I'll just go over there and be aware that it is present, and that's something that I have to face. Just updating my page 2, make sure all that our family information is correct.
Adding baby Cole.
Adding baby Cole. This will just enable an extra pay per month while I'm away from the family.
Okay.
The service in here was so bad, I'm